The time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Mid-Morning. A man charged in a gruesome murder is back in court today.
It's been weeks since they were last seen. Today we'll look at the latest search plans for a missing Northern Kentucky couple.
And the man charged with several counts of animal cruelty is in court today. He is the father of a renowned horse trainer, but she has fled the state.
This is WKYT Mid-Morning.
Well, good morning and welcome in. Here we are on August 1st, and we're glad you're on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. You know, a nice weekend, some shower activity here and there, and here we go again. It's another first alert severe weather day.
Yeah, keeping us up to date, Micah, because we could have more of those downpours once in a while.
That's exactly right, and like you and Barb were talking about, it's just kind of hit and miss. Some of us saw a really nice weekend, and you go 5-10 miles down the road, and it wasn't so much nice for your neighbors. I mean, some of us did pick up some heavy downpours. That's the case again today. We have a complex heading our direction, now in southern Indiana, but I would expect it to move into the western zones in about 2 hours. So roughly noontime is when you can expect this to roll into the western zones. That's going to be Shelby County, it's going to be Henry, and off toward Owen County. So just keep that in mind. But we do have some storms for today. There's no doubt about it. We'll have at least some scattered spotty storms. But who gets the best chance? Who doesn't have a chance at all? And how much rain are we expecting? That's coming up.
All right, here's the latest from WKYT News, and we begin with breaking news this mid-morning. A fatal accident on northbound I-75 in Whitley County blocked traffic for more than 2 hours. This is happening near mile marker 26, that is near Corbin. Kentucky State Police are telling us at least one person has been killed. Northbound traffic on I-75 was at a standstill until just a few minutes ago. We're told it is now beginning to move slowly. We do have a news crew on the way. We'll have more information coming up on WKYT News at noon and updates as we receive them at WKYT.com.
A man accused in a gruesome Lexington murder is back in court this morning.
Patrick Jones is accused of murdering his ex-girlfriend and then dismembering her body. The last time the 24-year-old was in court, he entered a not guilty plea for his charges of murder, tampering with evidence, and abusing a corpse. Jones was arrested a week and a half ago after pieces of his girlfriend's mutilated body were found in 2 dumpsters on Malibu Drive. Police say Jones killed Haley Bourgeois with a wrench before he dismembered her body. The couple had a child together. Neighbors reported that they heard the pair fighting a lot, but never thought something like this would happen. We'll have the latest updates on what happens in the courtroom on WKYT.com and on our noon news. 25 days have passed since Bobby Jones and Krista Warner disappeared, and their families are still searching for the bodies and the closure that would come with that.
Their families are focusing on an area of Winchester where the couple's car was last seen on the road. Police say Craig Pennington, a man who was renting a house from the couple in Washington County, killed them back in July. A neighbor told police they saw Pennington with the bodies after he shot them. Now, 4 weeks later, their families are still desperately trying to figure out what happened to them.
You can't get your mind off of it, and trying to commit 100% to searching and then coming home and being a mom to 3 kids who don't know or understand what's going on. It's just, I guess, emotionally exhausting.
Pennington's case is still making its way through court. He's facing 2 counts of murder and will be arraigned at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon in Washington County.
A mother accused of taking off with her son while high on drugs is set to face a judge in Laurel County this morning. Jamie Allen faces several charges, including attempted murder of a police officer. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says Allen first took off with her 5-year-old son early Saturday morning. Deputies found them later that night on a rural road, and that's when they say Allen threatened them with a knife.
She was highly intoxicated. She began cursing. One of the other guys that was with me ran up to her, and at that point he realized she had a knife in her right hand, and he was yelling, "Drop the knife, drop the knife."
Deputies arrested Allen and another woman who they say helped hide Allen. Social Services has now placed the child with his father.
A man charged with several counts of animal cruelty is scheduled to be arraigned in Mercer County today. Police charged Charles Burrell after a number of horses were found abandoned on a farm leased by the Burrell family. His daughter and well-known horse trainer Maria Burrell is wanted on the same charges, but police say she has left the state. After weeks of intensive care, the horses are showing signs of progress, but a volunteer caring for the horses says it will likely take more than a year for the horses to make a full recovery.
Well, the majority of Central Kentucky schools don't start back up until August 10th, but a handful of schools are beginning this week, and some even headed back this morning. In Frankfort at the city school there, 2nd Street School, Frankfort High School, and Capital City, the prep school there, all headed back today. Other schools that will see classrooms filling up this week include Bergen Independent, that will be tomorrow, Estill County on Wednesday, and on Thursday, Barberville Independent, Jackson, and Mercer County students will be back in class. Kentucky State Police investigating a serious accident in Whitley County. Police say 8 people were injured in a crash on US 25 at Kentucky 204, the Cumberland Falls Highway. They say 3 people were flown to the hospital. Troopers are still trying to figure out what led to that crash. The cause of a deadly crash in Madison County is under investigation this morning. It happened on Irvin Road near Waco. State Police say Douglas Tackett Jr. hit a guardrail, crossed the center lanes, and then rolled several times. Troopers tell us Tackett later died at the hospital.
Federal investigators are searching for clues following the worst hot air balloon disaster in U.S. history. 16 people died in Texas Saturday when the balloon apparently hit a power line before bursting into flames and plummeting to the ground. Investigators plan to meet with the balloon's ground crew today. Well, less than 100 days until the elections. The 2016 presidential candidates and their running mates are crisscrossing the country now.
They're on the move right now with a campaign in full swing. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is facing new criticism for his so-called attacks on the parents of a Muslim American soldier who died in Iraq. Hannah Daniels has the latest on Campaign 2016.
Republican vice presidential nominee Mike Pence sought to diffuse the conflict between Donald Trump and the Muslim soldier's parents Sunday night. In a statement, Pence said that both he and Trump believe Humayun Khan is, quote, an American hero, adding that his family should be cherished by every American. The comment did little to extinguish the firestorm sparked after Trump bashed Khizr Khan for criticizing him in a speech at the Democratic National Convention, leveling this attack at his wife.
If you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say.
The slain soldier's mother responded to Trump in an op-ed for the Washington Post, writing, quote, without saying a thing, all the world, all America felt my pain. Appearing on CNN, her husband was less diplomatic.
He is a black soul, and this is totally unfit for the leadership of this beautiful country.
House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell released separate statements Sunday condemning Trump without mentioning him by name. Speaking at a church in Cleveland, Hillary Clinton called him out directly.
Mr. Khan paid the ultimate sacrifice in his family, didn't he? And what has he heard from Donald Trump? Nothing but insults.
Clinton now holds a slight lead over Trump in 11 key battleground states following her party's convention. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
And Trump campaigns in 2 of those battleground states today, Ohio and Pennsylvania, while Clinton rallies supporters in Nebraska. Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell released a statement on Captain Khan saying, quote, Captain Khan was an American hero, and like all Americans, I am grateful for the sacrifices that selfless young men like Captain Khan and their families have made in the war on terror. McConnell goes on to say, I agree with the Khans and families across the country that a travel ban on all members of a religion is simply contrary to American values.
Authorities in Maryland are assessing the damage after deadly flash flooding took the lives of 2 people over the weekend. One of the worst places hit was Ellicott City, where more than 6 inches of rain fell in just 2 hours Saturday. The floodwaters swept away hundreds of cars, tore up sidewalks, and wrecked storefronts. Many residents say it's been a heartbreaking past couple of days.
There aren't words to describe it. People are calling me, telling me they've seen the pictures on Twitter and all that, and it's just, you can't even fathom how bad it is in person relative to those pictures.
Maryland's governor has since declared a state of emergency in the region. Well, keep it right here this mid-morning. The day Harry Potter fans have awaited eagerly finally has come. Another page-turner is here.
And Bourne is back. Matt Damon's signature character returns to the big screen.
And we have some storms on the way. What do you expect out of these storms, though? Not just rain and some lightning. I'll have that coming up in just a few minutes. We have a complex of storms heading our direction. I'm meteorologist Micah Harris. There's the look back toward Louisville. It'll be in Louisville here in about 30 minutes to about an hour, and then it slides toward us here in about an hour, hour and a half. So watch for the western zones to be affected first by this, and obviously it's not a lot. Not everybody will be hit by this, and that's exactly what I was talking about this morning. It is hit and miss. That's the way it's going to be as we continue to track throughout the rest of the day. So like I said, give it another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then it eases into our western zones. That's places like Frankfort, Peaks, Mill, Shelbyville, Simpsonville, and then work your way up toward Henry and Owen counties. Let's take you hour by hour. Let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? There it is. There's noontime. You can see it continuing to make its way toward the east. Right around 2, 3, 4 p.m., those 3 hours are when things start to ramp up just a bit. Remember, this is hit and miss today. Not everybody will see the rain today, but there's a pretty decent shot at that as it travels through time. 5, 6, 7 p.m., that piece of energy is now into east and southeastern Kentucky. There's 7 p.m. right there. But I do want to show you this. I mean, look across much of our area. Not seeing rain at that time, and that's the case as we travel off and through the rest of the day. It's hit and miss. Some will see the rain, some will not. If you do, it's going to be heavy downpours. Now, is there a possibility of some flooding? It's an isolated chance, okay? This is not a widespread severe weather day, and this is not widespread flooding type of situation. This is an isolated shot here and there. Most of these thunderstorms are just your run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. It's your typical thunderstorms, heavy downpours, and also some lightning. That's exactly what you can expect as these travel on through. So there's your impact for today. Hail, high winds, tornadic activity, not a concern whatsoever. 7-day forecast, here's your breakdown of it. Hit and miss today. And then we look toward your Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are smaller opportunities of rain, meaning the chance is there, but most of us stay dry the next couple of days. It's about the temperatures as we get to the upper 80s. Then we hit Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's one of those times that you just, if you have any plans, I still say stick to them, just like I told you there on Friday. Stick to them for the weekend, as most stay dry, but we just can't rule out a passing shower or thunderstorm. It's pretty much, well, that's exactly what we had actually for this weekend, is I didn't get a drop of rain at my house this weekend. However, just south of me, got some pretty good rain at times, and that's just the way it's going to go the next several days. Just hit and miss.
I think we had about 3 minutes.
Yeah, right.
that was it.
And then they had that big hour-long storm over Richmond.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how it goes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the latest installment in the Harry Potter book series by J.K. Rowling finally has arrived.
Harry Potter and the Cursed Child takes place 19 years after the last book. The previous book in the series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, was released in 2007. At Joseph Beth Booksellers in Lexington, more than 450 people pre-ordered the book, with several hundred more purchasing the book at a midnight release yesterday. Joseph Beth says there are plenty of copies for sale. It is already the top-selling book of 2016 on Amazon.com. No big surprise. Huh?
Isn't that amazing, though? The best-selling, and it's been released one day.
Amazing, isn't it?
Well, the curtain rises once again for an iconic Broadway musical.
And Matt Damon returns in his signature role. Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
Matt Damon is back as Jason Bourne for the first time in nearly a decade.
I'm not on your side.
The former CIA assassin threw Star Trek Beyond off course at the weekend box office. Jason Bourne made $60 million in its opening weekend. The cast of Cats received a standing ovation during the curtain call on opening night in New York Sunday. Leona Lewis stars as Grisabella in the first revival of Andrew Lloyd Webber's legendary musical. The show ran for 18 years on Broadway after debuting in 1982. And Harry Potter and the Cursed Child opened to a sold-out crowd at the Palace Theatre in London's West End. Later this week, 250,000 tickets will be released for performances through mid-December 2017. Author J.K. Rowling also released the script in book form over the weekend. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Coming up next, from designer clothing to jewelry to kitchenware and more, it's a shopper's paradise.
Details about the Junior League's Tossed and Found rummage sale. Stay with us. And tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is $25 million, and Wednesday's Powerball is $40 million.
Welcome back into Mid-Morning on WKYT on your Monday, August 1st, if you can believe it. Right?
It's hard to imagine, but it's here.
It is. Home decor, designing clothing, designer clothing, holiday items, and more. You can shop until you drop at the Tossed and Found rummage sale. It's coming up Saturday, and it's all for charity.
We're joined now by Kelly Parmley and Lauren Nichols with the Junior League of Lexington to tell us more about it. Welcome. Glad to have you in here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So the Tossed and Found rummage sale. Tell us about what's going to be going on.
Well, it's our second annual sale, and all the proceeds from the sale benefit the Bodley Bullock House, which is our Junior League headquarters down in Gratz Park. And like you mentioned, we've just got all kinds of things, clothing and jewelry and kitchenware and furniture, and it's a great place for people to shop if they're looking to furnish a new apartment or get some things for their kids to go back to school.
So they can find a wide range of items. I want to, delve into that a little bit more closely, find out some more things that will be there. But first, talk about the work of the Junior League of Lexington. A lot of people don't really know what the Junior League does.
The Junior League of Lexington is an organization for women to help with volunteerism in our community. So this sale actually embodies that. We take the proceeds of the sale are used to help benefit our house, and then all of the leftover items are going to be donated back to our community. So this is actually the perfect symbol for helping both the preservation efforts of the house and our general community as a whole.
And you're talking about the Bodley Bullock House?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, which is really, if people haven't seen it, a really nice historic home.
And you have been going through the boxes and what is going to be up for sale on Saturday. So tell us some of the items people will see.
We have all kinds of shoes, designer clothing, children's wear and toys, all kinds of back to school items if you're getting your little ones ready for go back to school. We have a lot of holiday, a lot of home decor, kitchenware, jewelry, accessories, you name it, we have it. It's a yard sale paradise.
Kelly, I know you've been looking through this too. Anything that surprised you as an item that people can pick up?
No, I mean, there were, as you look through things, you're like, oh, well, goodness, that's pretty nice. We should be able to get some good money for that. Or, there are a lot of surprises. Every box we open, it's just like, wow.
And that's the idea. You want to raise a lot of money because you can do so much good with that.
Sure. You have it set for Saturday from 9 until 4 at the Bodley Bullock House where people can come by. Do you think arriving early might be a good idea?
Yes, last year there was a line out the door when we got there.
Really?
So people were definitely there early. Now we will have the potential for rain. I think you guys just talked about that. So please check out our Facebook event page to see what is going to happen with the weather. We will have a rain date of the following Saturday.
Okay, so if it did rain, you might move it.
Yes, yeah. So our Facebook event page is the Junior League of Lexington's Tossed and Found.
Okay.
Great. Good luck with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we hope you'll stay right here on WKYT Mid-Morning. We'll be back in a moment and
checking in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next.
Coming up on WKYT News at noon, we'll update the information still coming into our newsroom about the fatal accident on I-75 today in Whitley County.
The latest on the Patrick Jones trial. He's accused of murdering his girlfriend and dismembering her body.
And we'll hear more about the man charged with multiple counts of animal cruelty in Mercer County.
News, weather, and sports ahead at noon on WKYT. There's definite southern flair today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Yeah, they're fixing U.S. farm-raised catfish, and don't forget about the biscuits.
Over the past few years, our markets have been putting more focus on foods that are all natural and that are grown right here in the U.S. And when we get a chance to meet or learn about the farmers and their farms, we feel more comfortable about what we're eating. So since today kicks off National Catfish Month, I thought it'd be fun to focus on a different kind of farmer, catfish farmers. Let me introduce you to John, Bubba, and Jerry, who were recently voted the 2016 Farmers of the Year. These guys raise U.S. farm-raised catfish from the hatchery until they're big enough to harvest. And from talking to them, I learned that today's catfish are farmed in freshwater ponds, which makes them second to none. Let me share with you a down-home Southern dinner that highlights just how good they are. It's a freshly baked biscuit brimming with farm-raised catfish that we seasoned, sautéed, and topped with a trio of veggies before finishing it off with a sauce that brings it all together. And let me tell you, it tastes as good as it looks. The recipe for what we call catfish and biscuits is online now, and it's perfect for a quick summertime dinner. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a farm-to-fork way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Look pretty good.
Listen, I'm from Alabama. Catfish and biscuits I've never had. I've had them separate, but I've never put them together.
You need to try them.
That sounds
together.
You like it.
Really good. What doesn't sound good is this forecast. Check it out. We got the storms heading our direction. They'll be in Louisville here in just about 30, 45 minutes and be in our western zones here in roughly an hour to an hour and a half. So maybe just before noontime is when you can expect them in the far west. But for the most part, roughly noon is when you can expect the first batch. This first batch of storms going to be heading our direction. So that's the movement of those, as you can see, to the east. Now, there's some heavy rain. There's some lightning within these. No severe or widespread severe weather is expected today. But what we're going to be watching for and why we have the first alert severe weather day is because of isolated flooding concerns like we've had the past few days where most don't even see the flooding, but maybe one spot or two could get it.
All of a sudden, it could be a problem.
Comes down.
All right.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being with us at Mid-Morning, and we'll see you back here at noon.
Have a great day. We'll see you at noon.